peace, love, light, and blessings. I'm so glad to be here. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Yeah, so I'm just realizing I forgot to share the link before we get started. Hold on. It says me, Zora the Explorer, and we got High Society in the building. Go ahead, say what's up to my folks, High Society.
Hey everybody,
All right, y'all.
I'm here
So,
checking in.
on a check in, as it should be. So we got a pretty interesting topic tonight. Um, lately, a lot of conversations have been coming up for me around marriage, courting, and dating. And interestingly enough, I came across a TikTok reel, of course, on Instagram because I'm not on TikTok or any of those things. But uh, he was a marriage counselor therapist, and he was given advice on how to date or how to get married or how to and things like that. And he made an interesting point that kind of not shifted my perspective, so to speak, but made me think about how have I been looking at dating lately. And what he said is that you should court to get married. You should court to get married and get married to date. And it was just one of those things that made me go, hmm. So I really wanted to jump into what does that idea even look like and sound like, as younger, well, really the now young old adults, because we're not necessarily young adults anymore. So after a 2 week hiatus, I was just really in a space of contemplating where I'm going next in my life as far as my love life and relationships and things like that. So I want to first allow High Society to kind of catch us up about what's been going on with her, what's popping with her, and then I'll catch you guys up on what's popping with me.
Um, can you turn your volume up just a little bit, Zora? I don't know if it's my phone or your phone. You know, when they want you to get the updates, they start fucking with your iPhone.
Repeat that, T.
Okay, much better, much better. I can hear you much better now. So you said to give the viewers an update on what's going on with me.
Yeah, just let us know where you've been, how you've been, what's going on, anything, any new news you want to share.
Oh, I'm doing good. You know, I'm traveling as always, focusing on the business. I just got back from California yesterday. I had a post New York Fashion Week gala that I attended. Um and I was vendoring out at the gala for High Society Bakery. It was really nice. I got an award for my service and how I just put myself out there to help other businesses and be encouraging to other Black women. So it's very fulfilling to, be thought of in the business realm when it comes to my business. So I thought that was really cool. Also, um, your girl been dating, and I met this really cool guy, and I'm feeling him, and he feeling me too. So that's been pretty interesting. It makes for a good conversation, and I'm ready to jump right in. So that's what's been going on with me.
All right. That's what's up. Well, congratulations on all fronts. Definitely on your award, definitely on your business. I'm super proud of you. I'm super proud of your business. You know, I'm always gonna rep high society. Like that's always gonna be that's always gonna be on my plate. I'm super proud of you and super happy for you. Uh well, I do got some things going on. I guess this is a big deal for me. Doing this podcast, even though it's a struggle right now, but it's gonna come together at some point. But I'm not gonna front. My mind is usually running a couple of different places. I want to blame it on the fact that I'm a Gemini, and that could have something to do with it. But I just believe that everything comes together in due time the way that it should. And my share out is that I put my name in a contest um for 40 and Fabulous, or over 40 and Fabulous. And it was really just I was really just playing around with it. Like just wanted to see what would happen if I put my name in a hat for something like this. And I just got an email and text message today that I made it through to the second round. And I think I'm 10th place, or yeah, I think I'm 10th place. So that's pretty dope. So I'm excited about that. I'm gonna figure out a way to promote it via Instagram. I'm just really over social media right now, kind of, sort of. But yeah, so with that, enough of that. To share out, but super dope for High Society. Y'all definitely should go follow High Society Bakery, High Society Bakery, on Instagram. And so, what I wanted to start with was, what is marriage like? Like, what did marriage look like for most people? Well, I can't say for most people. I can say for the marriages that I saw growing up as a kid, and what it inspired me to be like as a wife, as a married woman when I was married, and a little bit of what I not what I don't want, or who I want to be now as a wife. Uh I don't want to say that all my influences came from TV, but I would say that I did watch a lot of TV as a kid, but I feel like I had some pretty decent influences of marriage. My grandparents, uh, like my best friends growing up, her parents were married well into our young adults, our young 20s. Yeah, so, but then when you get older, you find out stuff about people marriage. But that's not the route I want to take the conversation. But I think now, I don't know. Why do we want to get married? See, why do you think you want to get married?
Well, I want to get married to build an empire,
Mm.
to build a foundation where we could build upon the foundation and build an empire. I see marriage differently than how I seen it the first time around.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of like an emotional attachment type of deal, but now I
Yes.
see marriage as like a business, like a partnership where
Mm-hmm.
you come together to formulate, or what's the word I'm looking for?
Um, I think partnership was it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
basically, but just to get together and build like an empire and put your business together and pour into each other so that you
Mm-hmm.
could build something that's going to be great. I'm at a point in my life where I want to have a legacy for my kids and make sure that financially they're set, and not just financially, but I want to go into my next marriage as a partnership where we are emotionally available to each other. We make each other feel safe. We provide a safe environment for each other, just emotionally, physically, spiritually, and be uplifting to each other without being overbearing or um getting on each other's nerves, or just, marriage, you have to constantly be reinventing yourself in order for your marriage to work and be fulfilling to not just you but your partner. So that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. And I think I would definitely piggyback on a lot of those points. The reinventing yourself. And I think that's what I'm learning now, is that that's a very important that's a very important part of the experience of marriage. I was young when my first marriage, and I'm not going to talk about that because that's not my life anymore. But I would say that I was young and I didn't really think of marriage that way. I was really just surviving, young and surviving and really trying to keep my family together because I wanted a certain life for my daughter. But now I do view marriage as a partnership, somebody that I'm gonna grow with, and I'm becoming, somebody with, as a unit, and we moving as a unit, and is not a problem about it. We partners, we friends, we lovers, is literally the whole show, and it's an easy thing, right? So now there was another video, but before I talk about that video, because that video gonna lead us to part of why the show was titled what it was. But coming off of what our ideas are of marriage now, um, what do you think about courting? Like, I was really sitting thinking about the word itself, courting. Like, what does it actually mean to be courted? And I don't know. That's a hard one in 2022, because expectations of, I think, of what relationships even should be, I don't know if they involve courting, because I feel like courting is it's a thing where courting just requires time and creativity. I don't think courting necessarily requires like a bunch of money and a bunch of goofy stuff. Courting just requires time and creativity. I think time, creativity, and desire. What you
And
think, sis?
I
Oh,
think you got it.
consistency.
I think you got it right, but I was gonna add consistency, because oftentimes, like for me, I like the whole idea of courting, right? If you're gonna court me and you're gonna do something, let's just say every Thursday you're gonna buy me flowers, and I'm gonna be like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. And granted, it is beautiful. My thing is, buy me flowers because you want to buy me flowers. And if you're going to do it to court me, to be in a relationship with me, you got to keep that up. That's just like, you don't want to meet somebody and you be like, oh, I like this person because of XYZ. And then they go and change that. Whether it
Yeah,
be their looks and then they start gaining weight, or, physical appearance, you can't really change that. But like, just let themselves go. I'm gonna keep myself up. As long as you keep yourself up, I'm gonna always keep myself up. And if you're gonna court me, just be intentional about it. You don't have to spend a lot of money. I know I could come off like I'm high maintenance, but that's not necessarily the case. Like, I'm very creative. So anything you do that you put thought into it, or there it was a thought behind it, I'm going to be excited and I'm going to be rooting for you. But you better believe, if this is something that you're going to do to court me, don't stop doing it. Be consistent with it. And I think that's what happens oftentimes. Guys do a lot of things to get the girl, and then once they got her, they feel like they don't have to keep doing that anymore. and that's where you basically fall off.
So while you were making your points, and I agree with all of those points too, and I would say it's the same thing for women too. We have to be cognizant of the fact that the things that we were doing, you know what I'm saying, before we had a dude, we got to keep doing those things too. You know what I'm saying? Like if you was getting your nails done and getting your feet done or whatever, and that was your thing, like don't stop now because you got a man. He likes that too, you know what I'm saying? So like you said, like I'm gonna keep myself up and keep myself looking good for me too, but I'm gonna keep myself looking good for my man. And there's nothing
Hmm.
wrong with that. And you should definitely be consistent with it as well. But no, what I was getting ready to say was dang, I forgot what I was getting ready to say. Dang. I really forgot. All right, so
It's cool. We was talking about consistency and being consistent.
oh, yeah. So I looked up the word courting. And courting is dating romantically with the intentions to marry. So being
Wait a
that
minute,
that's the
that's the actual
yeah,
definition.
that's the literal definition of the word courting. So yeah, so I guess yo, that makes a lot of sense though. And really I feel like that if you put that intention out there like that, you're looking, you want to be courted, I think that that changes everything in a dating situation because like you know what I'm saying. So like if the man, if that's not your intentions, if you not trying to move towards that, all right, you holding a line so you could go ahead and go on. And it really would bring it full circle to the marriage counselor's point where he said when you get married that's when you date. And for me that's what stood out the most is because um when I do get married again, I want my husband to want to be around me and want to do things with me and spend time with me. And like I want him to be all about me because I'm gonna be all about him. So it would make it easier to date because we already married. And so if you're married, you've already combined your finances and this, that, and the third. So you don't have to have, any what's the word? You wouldn't deal with the issue of will money really be the issue once y'all decided to get married and like now we're married, so now the things that you maybe would have done dating, you know what I'm saying, before you changed your intentions, now as a married couple y'all are dating and doing things together that are really couple goals in today's society versus you don't have anything invested in that situation other than I don't know, the average relationship, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but then that can leave one to say that courting is an investment
Yeah.
because you have to invest not only your time but your money. Um, I mean, it's like a whole host of things that you could be investing. You just the idea of you being invested in courting someone is a big deal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's so what I'm
Like your
saying is
average Pookie and Ray Ray ain't trying to invest that time. You know what I mean? But that's the thing nowadays. Like, um, guys can. misconstrue like what courting is just because they
Mm-hmm.
want to have sex with you. So it's like you have to have the discernment on
Mm-hmm.
whether or not this is what you really want.
Well, yeah, I think discernment would definitely be the major factor in any situation that you choosing, when you're actively seeking to get involved in relationships with people or whatever, or with the opposite sex. But I feel like in that intentional court, I guess it depends on the people and your intentions. I just feel like if it ain't adding up or vibing up to what y'all initially agreed to, then through your discernment and awareness, you would just let the situation go. But typically, I don't think the average Joe could really handle a situation where you courting a woman to get married.
By what? All right. So why wouldn't he want to court a woman to be married? Or did I misunderstand?
Mm, the average Joe, meaning I shouldn't have said average Joe. I probably should have said the average quote unquote fuck boy.
Oh, okay. Because when you said the average Joe, you
Yeah, I
know,
shouldn't have said the average Joe.
I was thinking Joey Buttafuoco. Oh, what's his name? What was I calling the guy? Shit. You know, we have
Oh yeah,
nicknames
that's
for
what
these
you was
niggas.
calling him.
I ain't call him Joey, but did I call him Joe
Yes,
Buttafuoco?
you did.
No, I called him the Tiger guy.
Oh yeah, you was calling him. What was that? What's that dude name?
I can't remember right now.
Dang, I forgot, yo. That shit was wild.
You know, these females be coming up with all kind of names for these guys. The code word.
Yeah. Dang, I
But
don't.
anyway,
Anyway,
that's what I had. That's where my mind went. I associated it with something totally different. Off topic, but nonetheless.
yeah, I don't know, but I do. I think I like the space of courting. I feel like it takes out the guessing. Because how I've been dating, that that clearly hasn't been working either. So
Meaning what?
meaning I'm not married yet. So the way that I was dating, that wasn't working. And that just wasn't working just because it wasn't working.
Yeah, that's what I
Now,
was gonna say. Like, why is you blaming yourself for that?
no, I'm not blaming myself for that. I'm just saying
Oh,
that wasn't work. The way I was doing it just wasn't working because I just was a
maybe you
different
should
person.
rephrase it to say the energy that you was putting out there to
Yeah.
attract
Yeah,
a
that's what I'm
guy
saying. Like the
was
energy that
not.
I was putting out is definitely what I was getting back.
Yeah, wasn't your frequency.
Yeah, definitely wasn't high frequency. Wasn't a high
You were
frequency plate.
vibrating very mediocre, beloved.
It
You
was
was
a very low
vibrating.
vibrational plate.
Yeah. Low vibrational plate. What you bring to the table? A low vibrational plate.
It was a very low vibrational plate. But now my my plate now is high vibrations. I was feeling kind of good today and happy, and I decided to have me some little soda pop. Like I'm from the South for real. I was feeling good today and I wanted some soda, but nah, on a serious tip though, I like the idea of courting, but like I said, I think that you would definitely court. You'll just know. Like you would know, like, yo, all right. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when you get to that space of, you know what, I'm really ready to get married, and I'm not gonna play any of these dating games that we all know what I'm talking about when I say dating games, especially if you're actively dating and you've been actively dating for some time. I'm not gonna play the dating games. Like, this is who I am. This is what I want. And if it ain't lined up, that ain't it. And keep it moving.
Well, I think I'm the opposite.
Why
And
you
I
say
say
that?
that I say that because I like the dating stage. I like dating is nothing more than collecting data on that person. And you can't go into a relationship with somebody feeling like, oh, um, this the one, or this is, I want to be married or whatever. You got to collect data on that person. And then once you collect all the data, then you could compile it in your software to update your hardware to
Hmm.
make a informed decision
I don't
on
disagree
whether or
with
not.
you. I don't disagree with that at all. I just think that's what courting would be.
Hmm.
I think courting would be the data collection portion of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think courting is the data collection part of it, and the fun part is I gotta plug my phone up. I forgot. And the fun part is the dating part. So I feel like if you put it in a courting scenario, right? Because remember we was talking about like how courting doesn't, it may not require you to spend a lot of money versus dating. I feel like dating is very expensive because you do have to be creative in dating scenarios, and it doesn't have to always be expensive, but at some point dating is going to be expensive, because even if like you meet a guy and you know after, I don't know, 6 months, I don't know what's the window for like traveling with your dude or whatever nowadays, but you decide that you want to take a trip with him. That's time and money invested. So that's the only thing I was saying. But I don't disagree with what you're saying. Either way, it's all collecting data, whether it's
Mhm.
courting or dating. I kind of like the aspect of, less, little dinner dates, hanging out, park dates, stuff like all places that we can have dates and still, you know what I'm saying? That's all. But yeah, that's it. So the next part of this discussion was, yeah, the next part of the discussion was the dating aspect of it. But um, I don't know. I used to think dating was weird, but I don't feel that way anymore.
Like, what you thought was weird about it?
Um, just how to be, like how to be, um, in the dating situation. Like, I don't know. I used to feel like I was always guessing about the dating relationship. Like, are we exclusively dating, or are we dating around? Is this just a situationship? Like, it was just all these different things that used to always come with dating to me. And like we said before, that was probably just my energy. But it's like now I'm cool on it. I just feel like I'm cool on it. Hold on, I gotta find my charger, T. Hold on. You gotta talk to us about how you feel about dating. Cause you seem pretty cool on it.
I like the idea of dating. I like the idea of going out with a person multiple times, because I feel like the first couple of times, and I know I said this before, but the first couple of times is like you're meeting that person's avatar or their representative. So they could only keep up that image for a certain amount of time before the real them starts to reveal itself. And then in that, I always take time out to, like, if I like a person, if I like a person, I'll sit down and I have a conversation with me and God, and I'll be like, you know what? I really like this person, but I'm ready for you to reveal that person before we go to the next step. And I assure you, every time I do that, I've gotten better. I've gotten way better because before I used to just be like, hey, I'm ready for you to reveal this person. And then when God revealed the person, I would ignore the signs. But now I go back and set my intentions in a way where I'm asking not just for God to reveal that person, but allow me to recognize the red flags and not ignore them.
Yes.
So I feel like dating has allowed me to um, kind of get past the avatar or the representative phase
Mm-hmm.
to have a better understanding of whether or not I want to be with that person. And then in that, I, have a conversation with myself, like, why you like this person? What is it about this person? What type of value could they add to your life? How
Mm-hmm.
can you add value to this person's life? And then ask God to reveal that person to me. So whether it be little things like you started off buying me flowers in the courting stage and now you don't do that no more, or you're not a man of your word. You say you're going to do something and then you don't follow through. Like all of that starts to reveal itself because now we like 6 months in, or 5 months in, and you
Mm-hmm.
can't keep that standard up because you did all that to get me. But now that you got me, it's like, oh, I don't need to do that anymore for her. I already got her, so she know what I'm capable of. No.
Or or if he can't do it anymore, instead of him just, saying that, or because he was keeping up a facade and he can't do it anymore.
I don't think men do that because they be too prideful. I don't think a guy would ever say, oh, I can't do that anymore.
They wouldn't say it, but well, I get, yeah, because I feel like that was my experience. But whatever, that don't matter. I don't even want to talk about that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but I just think they be prideful and they're not going to say, oh, I can't do that anymore. But I mean, that's a part of communication also. Like, I'm not asking you to be like, oh, I can't do that anymore. But all right, find something else to do.
Mm-hmm.
Be creative. That's what I mean when I say, like, when you in a marriage, you have to constantly be reinventing yourself for your significant other in order to keep your relationship or your marriage spicy. In this case, we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about marriage, so it would be to keep your marriage spicy. Like, I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
I've always been like a big supporter of, trying to keep things interesting and not being content. That's when, you leave room the for you to grow apart because you're not doing the same things and or you're not communicating like what it is you need to be fulfilled.
Yeah. Um. I guess I yeah my perspective on dating has changed drastically. Honestly, I don't feel like it has to be dramatic anymore.
Hmm.
Like I don't. I'm definitely not giving you my representative, so I have no desire to meet yours. But I do understand that sometimes that happens. So now I've learned and understand how to deal with my attachments, becoming attached. And like you said, asking those questions like, why do I really like this person? What are they going to add to my life? What am I going to add to their life? Um, why do I like you? Do I really like you? Or am I just attached? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Or am I just lusting or
yeah, am I just
with your
lusting after
toxic
you?
ass dick?
Exactly. Like, really, really getting with those hard questions. And like you said, really, when those flags come up, not ignoring them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's so important, and I feel like that's men and women, because I enjoy all these conversations, but I don't want to have the conversation from a perspective of, only men do this and only women do that, because I think honestly we all do these things because we're all doing these things to each other.
Yeah,
And
but when I say like your representative or whatever, I'm not saying that you're not being yourself, but like in those conversations in dating, you have the surface level conversations, like
yeah.
because you still trying to figure out like for me, I know I'm learning like whereas before I would be completely honest in a dating phase. And once I what I realized with myself is before when I was dating, I would be completely honest, right?
Hmm.
And I mean, that's very noble to be completely honest. However, it could be used against you. So now what I've learned is like if we're dating, like the first few outings, you're gonna get like the surface conversation or whatever, because I feel like once I allow you into my world, you're there. When you're in my bubble, you're in my bubble. Like you're there. And I have to be very cautious about who I allow in my bubble because I be having a lot going on. And I got to make sure that one is safe to have these conversations with you. And in addition to that, I feel like I have to make sure that you coming into it not being non-judgmental or you have your own ulterior motives.
Mm.
So it's just basically like, yeah, I'm going to go out on a date with you. You're going to have the surface conversation, but I'm not giving you too much too soon.
Yeah, I had to learn that too, because
Yeah,
like
so in a
you.
sense, it's like, yeah, you are meeting my avatar, you meet my representative, because my
Yeah.
representative want to know if you could really handle the real Letitia.
Yeah.
I know I'm serious because
No, I'm
it's just
laughing
like,
because I get it.
yeah, like, mm-mm.
I'm laughing because I get it. I seriously get that. Like, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, because you don't want to make yourself um too vulnerable too soon, whereas that person could hold it against you or use it against you.
Yeah.
I'm not that person per se, but you can't really determine like who is that person in like your first 3 or 4 encounters.
Yeah. It
I
takes
mean,
a while. I think it
you could
takes.
use discernment, but you could give them a little bit at a time, like spoon feed them to see what they do with the information and how they're gonna in turn be encouraging or be emotionally available to give you the answers that you need. Like we already identified, women are emotional creatures. So we
Hmm.
want to see if you're going to be emotionally available. I'm not saying I'm going to have you doing mental gymnastics and all that, but I want you to do a little high jump here or there. You know what I mean? Like, come
Yeah.
on now. Show me what you're working with.
Well, I guess then, it would, the courting slash dating aspect would just be important for all those things you mentioned, because you got to have like you said, you got to have the safe, I guess, the safe space, and you have to create those experiences to see how people are going to show up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and that's really what it's really gonna all be about. I think at the end of it all, whatever you decide to call it or whatever you decide to title it, whether you decide you're gonna court to get married, or whether you decide that you just want to date and you don't really want to be married, or you don't care about marriage, or whatever you want to call it, but the most important thing in all of it is you're going to have to really understand what it is that you want. And I feel like be that for yourself first. And once you and your partner start to create those experiences with each other, be present in those moments so you can see how your partner or how your person is showing up. And like we talked about throughout the conversation, are they showing up for you emotionally? Are they, if you're into love languages and things like that, are they speaking your love language? Can you speak their love language? So I feel like once we really understand that, um we are really all in this thing together, but at the same time, it can really sometimes be not a conundrum, because that's such a heavy word, but it can be a rough space to navigate. But I think with strong desire, um, heartfelt intentions, and just knowing what you want, that changes the whole situation. So I'm gonna let you kind of summarize and give us some closing points and maybe some tips and pointers um, for folks dating T, and then I'm gonna close us out like we in church. Close us out.
I think it's important to be yourself. I also think it's important to have a friendship with a person. Just be their friend, and people are more inclined to be themselves when they're just your friend because they don't have anything to hide.
Hmm.
In that, when you courting somebody, just make sure that you being consistently consistent. Don't start off doing something to get that person and then you stop. And the same thing goes for females. If you like to push your wig back blue with your lace front, continue to do that. Don't start off with the lace fronts and the heavy makeup, and then when he wake up next to you, you looking like a troll. It's not gonna work. But the same thing goes for guys. Like, keep yourself up. Nobody want to be in the bed with somebody who feet is like sandpaper, because I like to rub my feet together. I'm just saying. Um but yeah, just be authentically authentic, and be yourself, and just live, love, and laugh. That's what life is about. Life is too short.
Yes.
And it's about to
And
be cold. Nobody want to be busting their back,
bruh,
shoveling
nobody
heat and
wants
beat.
to be cold. And I even forgot to talk about that too. But yeah, thank you for bringing that up. It's cold. It is. And for me, now that I've been in the South for so long, anything under 70 degrees, I need a sweater. I'm cold. So I'm freezing right now. I ain't turned that heat on, but I'm cold. But yeah, no, it's getting cold out here. And the tides, I feel like the the that hot girl, that hot girl summer, it was definitely an era. I'm not gonna front. I had a lot of fun.
Well, we all did.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I had a lot of fun. We all did. Men and women had fun during that era. And don't let a brother tell you no different. But, I think that we really are moving towards, you know, just being married and creating community and really focusing on, growing financially, you know, and maybe not expanding family or whatever, but however it comes. But I really do think that people, men and women, do want to be with each other, do want to be married. I don't believe that, you know, that everybody out here just happy being by themselves. And I know we can find the information that says the contrary, and we can find information that affirms exactly what I feel to be true, that people do want to be with each other. So I'm looking forward to revisiting this topic with a lot more people. Uh, Everything is still a work in progress. Everything is, it's a process, and I'm figuring things out. But like T said, life is short. We here for a short time, not a long time. So we better have a good time while we here. And as always, I had a beautiful time. I was glad to get some of this conversation off and just vibe out with y'all. So thank you. I appreciate you. I love you. High Society. Thank you for joining me again this week. This was really dope. The next conversation, I'm gonna have a pretty dope panel put together. I'm gonna work on that. So thank you, High Society. Thank you to any and everybody that was able to view. I love you. Have a beautiful rest of the week. And be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Go ahead and find you a husband, because I know I'm waiting for mine, and find you a wife.
That's it. That's all.
That's it. Later, y'all. Peace.
Later.
End. No, stop.